new calls for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle to have their titles stripped, as well as Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson, as the Sussexes join an anti-AI celebrity campaign designed specifically to annoy Donald Trump's White House.
And make no mistake, that is the future for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle as well. And it's well-deserved on all sides. Both the Yorks and the Sussexes have done a lot of damage to the monarchy.
Me is that William is prepared to be ruthless, right? And he will be ruthless when he's king. So Charles, at this point, could play a bit of a strategic game here. And
Meghan Markle once used royal titles like tools for fame and fortune, but now Prince William is turning the tables. He's using the power of the law itself to strike back and shatter her ambitions. His goal is clear: to strip away her children's royal status for good.
Of people, then it is much harder to make this about race or make this about victimhood. But of course, we know this is one of the reasons why Harry was so desperate to be face-to-face with Charles, because he's emotionally blackmailing him. He's guilt-tripping him because it is their absolute worst nightmare.
It's finally happened. The one moment Meghan Markle has been fearing ever since she and Prince Harry left for California has come crashing down. Prince William just made a bold move that changes everything, and it strikes right where she feels the most pain.
Major talks were going on. William's convinced the monarchy cannot evolve while Harry and Meghan still hold titles. Amen, brother. Amen. Strip them of those titles. Look, Prince Harry will always be a prince.
Reports from London are sparking shock across the royal circle. Sources claim the future king is quietly supporting a bold parliamentary plan to remove Archie and Lilibet's royal titles once and for all. No hesitation, no second thoughts, just gone, completely wiped away in an instant.
Think that you can raise your children in Montecito to be little Americans who don't even return to the United Kingdom because you think we're such an unsafe hellhole? It's delusional. Of course they shouldn't have titles.
Behind the palace walls, nothing about this was sudden. It's been a slow burn, a quiet and calculated battle building for years. Prince William has never been the type for drama or flashy public fights, but don't let that calm exterior fool you. It's not weakness, it's strategy. While Meghan and Harry stole the spotlight with interviews and documentaries, William was preparing something far more explosive, a royal reset that could change everything.
And easily remove a title is that this must be done not in reaction, not to, let's say, punish in the negative sense. Because when I say discipline, yes, punishment is part of discipline, but that's how you sort of, raise better children, is that you punish them for doing something wrong so they learn, so they make better decisions in the future. Same thing applies here.
He's been watching the storm unravel from his quiet corner in Kensington Palace. The scandals, the leaks, the endless waves of fallout, it all pushed him to a breaking point. While King Charles tried to patch things up and mend old wounds, William began drawing his own battle lines. His goal is crystal clear: to modernize the monarchy and shut out anyone daring to use it as their personal brand.
The hard decisions, that's what you are there to do. I mean, I don't understand how you can be in such a high position and wafer on
Insiders reveal that Prince William has been quietly studying other royal families, and one in particular caught his attention. Queen Margrethe of Denmark made headlines in 2022 when she stripped her own grandchildren of their royal titles. William didn't see that as heartless. He saw it as a masterclass in strength. To him, that was real leadership, the kind that protects the throne, even when it causes pain. Now, he's using that same hard truth on Harry and Meghan's children. His message is clear: if you don't serve the crown, you don't profit from it.
Woman needs to be put in her place. And the fact that you now have this whole issue with Andrew, hey, it's kind of a blessing. Hey, let's make some decisions right now. This is the time to do it.
100%.
I mean, what happens if you wait?
And here's the shocking twist. It's not revenge, it's strategy. Prince William has been playing a long, careful game of royal chess, planning each move with precision. He's been quietly setting the stage to rebuild what he believes has become a family brand stained by scandal and selfish ambition.
P. Dunn, I'm here in London and I'm very tapped into what's going on at the moment. And the drumbeat coming from Westminster and even coming from Buckingham Palace, P. Dinah, is that it's just going to be impossible.
While Meghan performed for the cameras, William was patiently setting his strategy in motion. Now, that calm and calculated plan is erupting into something far greater, a royal reckoning that's shaking the palace to its core.
Others to William to really make these kinds of decisions more streamlined to what the king would want, because he is not in a position, I believe, to even deal with this. I think it compromises his health even more.
Inside the palace walls, the tension between King Charles and Prince William has reached a breaking point. What once were calm disagreements about royal duty have exploded into something far deeper, a full-blown clash of visions for the future of the crown. And right at the center of this royal storm stand Meghan and Harry, fueling the fire without even lifting a finger.
The monarchy, and having such indecisive decisions and not really being in a position physically to make the hard decision.
King Charles, worn down by his ongoing health battles, is still holding on to a fading hope that his fractured family can somehow be made whole again. Those close to him say he dreams of peace before time slips away, one last act of love and fatherhood before the crown completely takes over his life. But to his eldest son, that deep desire for reconciliation doesn't look noble, it looks like weakness. And weakness is something Prince William refuses to tolerate.
Priority, when that is what your job is to do as the king, the country, the monarchy, the crown is going to be destabilized.
Prince William sees the situation through a very different lens. In his eyes, every olive branch offered to the Sussexes has ended in disaster. Another leak, another dramatic documentary, another wave of headlines, dragging the royal name straight through the mud. And every time King Charles forgives, Meghan and Harry seem to twist that knife just a little deeper, turning peace into yet another public wound.
They're not really concrete choices that are, very...
Insiders close to Prince William say he's completely done with all the sentimentality. He's reportedly told his advisors more than once that the monarchy cannot survive if it keeps giving in to emotional pleas. In his eyes, the crown doesn't need soft hearts. It needs discipline, control, and the strength to stand firm no matter who gets hurt.
Their action against Andrew. And so do it all now. Do it all now. And look, partly because Harry and Meghan are going to keep on embarrassing you, and they're going to keep on embarrassing the country. And Pete, I've got to come to this artificial intelligence thing, right? Because they know what they're doing.
When the day finally comes and the crown rests on William's head, there will be no hesitation. The titles, the perks, the fancy privileges, everything will be on the chopping block without a second thought. In his eyes, his father's gentle kindness is costing the monarchy its power and dignity. And as for William's patience, it's gone, completely drained, leaving behind a future king ready to take ruthless action.
And Pete, I've got to come to this artificial intelligence thing, right? Because they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. The background to this is that it's something that Trump...
Across the ocean, in the golden hills of Montecito, quiet panic is beginning to take hold. Meghan Markle's perfectly crafted California empire, filled with podcast deals, brand launches, and glossy influencer moments, was all built on one powerful foundation: royal status. But without that royal shine, the magic starts to fade, and the image she's worked so hard to polish begins to crack under the spotlight.
So they learn, so they make better decisions in the future. Same thing applies here.
When Meghan walks into Hollywood meetings,
When Meghan walks into those high-profile Hollywood meetings, she doesn't lead with being a former actress or talk show guest. She presents herself as the Duchess of Sussex. That title is her secret weapon, the key that gives her power and instant credibility. It grabs attention, opens doors, and sets her apart from the endless crowd of stars all fighting to stay relevant. But now, with Prince William's bold plan threatening to take away her children's titles, that royal foundation beneath her feet is beginning to tremble.
negative, because the reason somebody's titles should be stripped is that there is some sort of royal code of conduct that exists that is transparent between the government and the royal household, and that if you are a person who marries into the royal family.
Netflix has already pulled back, and Spotify cut ties without a second glance. Even the lifestyle brand Meghan hoped would rise to challenge Goop has barely made a sound in the media. Hollywood insiders who were once dazzled by her royal backstory are now filled with doubt. Without the titles, without that regal edge, Meghan risks fading into the crowd, just another celebrity chasing relevance instead of royalty turned rebel.
And that if you are a person who marries into the royal family, if you are a person who is born into the royal family.
Sources say Meghan has been holding emergency meetings, calling top PR advisors, and scrambling behind the scenes to find a way to keep the Sussex brand alive. If the unthinkable happens. But the truth is harsh. Her royal connection is the strongest currency she has. And if William's plan goes through, that golden link could vanish overnight, leaving her empire on the brink of collapse.
Given this code of conduct, and you sign on the dotted line that say, I agree to do X, Y, and Z. And if you, at some point...
For someone who built her entire image around constant reinvention, Meghan now faces a cruel and ironic twist. It seems she may have finally reached the end of her transformations, no more versions of herself left to sell, and no new story strong enough to keep the spotlight shining.
Pursue, and you bring the entire institution into disrepute. There will be a punishment for that, one that you are aware of because it is written down and you have signed on the dotted line.
So how could Prince William possibly pull off something this drastic? It all comes down to an old royal power that most people barely know exists, a power that has rewritten royal history before. It's called letters patent, a name that sounds harmless enough, right? But inside the royal world, it's far from innocent. It's a weapon that can change everything.
Punishment because there's not enough evidence in a court of law. We should not be stripping Andrew of his title.
Letters patent are official royal documents issued directly by the monarch, deciding exactly who is entitled to hold a royal title and who isn't. The last major change to these powerful papers came back in 1917, when King George V declared that only the grandchildren of the reigning monarch could be called prince or princess. That one royal decree shaped the modern monarchy, and it's the very reason Archie and Lilibet received their titles the moment King Charles took the throne.
Her word against his. She is now dead. So is Jeffrey Epstein. Unless there is some videotape proof, whatever.
But here's the real twist. That royal rule isn't set in stone. It can be changed at any moment by the reigning monarch, and one day by William himself. Insiders reveal that his team has already started quietly drafting a new version of the letters patent, one that would limit royal titles strictly to working royals and their direct heirs. That means anyone living outside official royal duties, even the Sussex children, could see their royal status vanish overnight.
It's all for this Epstein things. It's like, well, we need to actually search his finances, how he got money, how he used his role as a special trade envoy for the UK to wheel and deal behind the scenes to make money for himself, his wife, and his kids.
It's a brilliant yet perfectly legal move. No courts, no lawsuits, no appeals to stop it. Once that royal document is signed and sealed, it's over, completely final. Meghan could call it unfair. She could cry injustice. She could even try to rally the American media to her side, but none of it would matter once the ink dries on that royal decree.
Because of Epstein, everything's been wrapped up in that. And so I feel like this route is more about punishing that than it is about addressing somebody who abused their royal position.
William knows it all too well, and that's exactly what makes it so terrifying for Meghan. This time, there's no clever PR strategy, no emotional interview, and no glossy Netflix special that can spin the story her way. What's coming can't be stopped, and she knows it's heading straight for her world like a royal storm.
Is that Harry and Meghan are following a very similar road to Andrew and Sarah.
For Meghan Markle, this goes far beyond a legal fight or political move. It's personal devastation. She spent years building her post-royal life around a carefully crafted image. The Duchess, the mother of royal children whose titles command attention, open doors, and secure million-dollar deals. Her entire California empire, every brand pitch, every Hollywood relationship has thrived on that royal aura, and now it's all at risk of crumbling before her eyes.
For the royal family to recognize that when you have rogue royals, yes, maybe they're not doing something necessarily, let's say, massively bad.
And now that royal shine is on the verge of disappearing completely. Sources say Meghan's panic is impossible to hide behind palace doors. She's terrified of what comes next. The titles she once called her children's birthright, the shield that kept them from fading into obscurity, are about to be taken away. Once William's new letters patent are put into effect, Archie and Lilibet will become nothing more than ordinary children of a duke, their princely and HRH status wiped from history.
Manageable. They're a pain in the butt, but it's okay. But you will get to the point of a Harry situation in 30 years that might be very much like Andrew, which should have been nipped in the bud years ago.
The impact is both public and painfully symbolic. Meghan's image as a powerful, untouchable royal influencer is collapsing before the world's eyes. Every interview, every brand pitch, every Hollywood appearance that leaned on her children's royal titles is suddenly losing its shine and credibility. And in a place like Hollywood, where memories fade fast without a royal glow, she risks becoming just another star, desperately trying to hold on to fading relevance.
But it was allowed to fester because nobody stinking addressed it. And now we're here. And now everything's sort of spinning wildly out of control. And Charles looks like a weak king. He looks like a very weak king here.
Insiders reveal the humiliation cuts far deeper than strategy. It's personal and it's deliberate. William isn't just reshaping the monarchy, he's sending a thunderous message to everyone watching. Royal status, in his eyes, is a privilege earned through service, not a tool for fame or fortune. And for Meghan, seeing her carefully crafted world fall apart piece by piece is more than a setback. It's a reckoning years in the making, one she can neither escape nor undo.
The decisions around the crown, or the titles, with what happens to Eugenie, Beatrice, and Andrew, make it a big pool of people that are going to have the same things happen to them.
William's plan stretches far beyond Meghan's personal nightmare. It's a full-scale transformation of the British monarchy itself. Every non-working royal, from Prince Andrew to Princess Beatrice and Eugenie, and most painfully of all, Harry and Meghan, now face the cold reality of losing their privileges, HRH titles, and royal perks. The crown is being reshaped into something leaner, tougher, and laser-focused on those who truly serve its purpose.
But enough. There's of Sussex, the Duchess, the Duke. Enough. His Royal Highness. No, done. What happened with Andrew showed him it's time for a definitive break.
In William's eyes, there's no room left for royal freeloaders. The age of passive royals cashing in on titles and fame is officially over. He insists this isn't about revenge, it's about survival, the very future of the crown itself. From now on, every title, every privilege must represent duty, loyalty, and unwavering service to the monarchy. Anything less is unnecessary, and in William's world, easily cut away.
The playbook. Harry and Meghan kept their Duke and Duchess of Sussex titles after stepping back from royal duties, while they technically still hold his and her Royal Highness styles.
Insiders describe William's approach as cold, calculated, and ruthlessly pragmatic. His entire restructuring plan is built to stop future scandals before they start, shut down media games, and protect the monarchy's reputation in the modern era. He's carefully studied other European monarchies, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, taking notes from their bold decisions to streamline power and tighten control over who truly represents the crown.
In 2022. William, however, is said to view the continuation of these titles as incompatible with a modern slimmed-down monarchy.
And while some royal watchers warn that backlash is inevitable, William stands completely unfazed. In his mind, criticism fades, but the survival of the institution lasts forever. Anyone who dares to stand in the way of this new royal order will become collateral damage, a living reminder to future generations that the crown is not something to exploit or defy.
Showed that no one, regardless of status, is above the crown. He feels the same principle should apply to Harry and Meghan. This isn't about revenge, it's about preservation.
For Meghan, watching all of this unfold is a brutal and heartbreaking lesson. You can challenge the monarchy, you can try to rewrite the story, but the institution always survives, and it never forgets, let alone forgives easily.
Showed that no one, regardless of status, is above the crown. He feels the same principle should apply to Harry and Meghan. This isn't about revenge, it's about preservation. While the Duke of York was stripped of his royal titles and the military patronage in 2022 amid the allegations of Andrew, which he denied before settling out of court, the king's decision to remove Andrew's remaining honors.
Everything Meghan has done, from Netflix deals to explosive tell-all interviews, has built up to this very moment. She truly believed her celebrity power could bend centuries of royal tradition to her will, rewriting the rules in her favor. She thought she could walk away, claim privacy, and still cash in on royal prestige without consequence. But now, the truth is undeniable. She was wrong.
To confirm the king acted to avoid further damage. For William, the action against Andrew has reportedly strengthened his resolve to apply similar measures to the Sussexes.
William's battle isn't driven by revenge, it's about preserving the very soul of the monarchy. And in that fight for survival, Meghan's ambitions are nothing more than collateral damage. Once the new letters patent are signed and sealed, the royal titles she fought so hard to secure will disappear into history, taking with them the final thread of influence she still holds in Hollywood's glittering world.
Firm action wins public respect. William wants to demonstrate he's willing to make tough decisions, even when they hit close to home, like, taking his brother and his title away.
The irony couldn't be sharper. Every move Meghan made to secure her children's royal birthright, even her bold declaration in People magazine, ended up fueling William's determination instead. Each public stunt, each moment that looked more like self-promotion than duty, only made it easier for him to defend his decision to take those titles away for good.
If he goes through with stripping Harry's titles, it'll be a point of no return. Kate's nature is to keep the peace wherever possible, and she knows this could wipe out any chance of mending things between the brothers for good. I think she's right. I do think she's right.
For Meghan, this is the ultimate reckoning. The slow collapse of her California empire, the looming loss of her children's royal identity, and the public exposure of her strategy for what it truly was, a plan built on privilege and detached from duty. Everything she constructed around power and prestige is unraveling before the world, piece by piece.
For good. I think she's right. I do think she's right. The same source added, William views Andrew's fall as both cautionary and a chance to set things right. He believes the monarchy can't survive on double standards anymore. If titles hold the real value, then the same rules have to apply to everyone, no exceptions. I think he's spot on.
I think he's absolutely right. William will succeed, and the monarchy will stand tall through it all. Meghan, however, is about to learn a painful and very public lesson. You can't play the royal game if you refuse to follow its rules. The age of indulgent, Hollywood-style royalty is finished, and the crown is finally pushing back with force. The Duchess of Sussex fought fiercely to secure her children's royal titles, but now those titles hang by a thread. Archie and Lilibet are next on the chopping block, and Meghan's glittering California empire could crumble overnight.